So it's Wednesday, the 5th of April. This is the 5th day. It's 20 past 6. I've just come off the road. You can hear there off some off-beaten track and found this lake, which I'm assuming is a fishing lake, because it's an absolutely beautiful spot, and you can see that the banks are all cleared. There's little spaces in between the trees as if someone would fish there, and there's an information board at the start of the access to get down here, and obviously I don't read French or know really anything about what it's saying, but it just gives me that impression that this is some kind of fishing reserve. So I've just stopped for the moment now. I've had a look around. I can't find anyone else here, so I can't ask anyone if I'm alright being here, so I'm just going to try and set myself up maybe over there somewhere, keep myself to myself, get my tent going. There's no way I'm going to turn this opportunity up to sleep here tonight. It's a beautiful view, and I'm just outside of where I wanted to finish today. If you see here, at the moment I'm just here where the D16 eventually becomes the D951. This little ring road section is exactly where I just came off, and I started this morning. So we're there at the moment. I started this morning, got out the way, up here in Paris. So I've done what I reckon is about 80 or 90 kilometres, which is good considering I set off around 10:30, 11 because I had to wait for the shops to open to buy the final map. I bought a load of maps yesterday, and I forgot to buy the one map that bridges the gap between Paris and the rest of the country heading east towards Strasbourg. So this map is the map that I had to buy this morning. I'm hoping that with the pace that I've done today, that in 2 days' time I'll be finishing in Strasbourg, hopefully. Maybe 3 more days at a push, but hopefully if I can do it, 2 more days to Strasbourg. It's nice to get back at it after having a break in Paris. It was a bit of a shame to leave Paris because it's a really nice city, but I also saw the other side to Paris today, the dirty, run-down, derelict zones they have in Paris to the east of Paris as you leave. So it's a bit of a shame really, because throughout my time in Paris I thought it was a beautiful place, really nice architecture. Really loved how everyone was like dressed really fancy and whizzing around on their little mopeds and their little Fiat 500 cars, and then in the mornings you would see these road sweepers coming along and literally jet washing the streets clear, the pavements outside all the shops. And then seeing that this morning, in contrast to seeing the east of Paris that I cycled through, where there was, you know, like thick, like almost like soot kind of dirt on the pavement and up the walls, and, you know, market stalls that just look really just dreary and just almost like there'd been a fire. And you think that contrast to you seeing the road sweepers washing everything down in one area, in the central area of Paris, to the east that's just kind of left to its own devices. It was a bit of a shame really. I forgot to add that last night I had to run to an internet cafe at like 11 o'clock at night to reset my GPS so it would track better. And on the way out the internet cafe, some guy, like a club promoter, ran up to me and asked me if I wanted to go to his club. I said that I've got to be up early in the morning, and he said, "Oh, you're English. Sleep with English girls in this club, I guarantee." I said, no thank you, I'm not interested. I've got to get up early to cycle. He said, "No problem, we have cocaine." Safe to say I skipped it and went straight to bed after having the cheese and ham sandwich. I'm a little bit tired, obviously. Bit of a weird journey. I was in a bit of a weird mood today. I just kept thinking, riding through all these villages and little towns, villages where you've got these people, you know, like farming in the middle of nowhere. Just thinking, you know, what is it that they do in their life? How far do they ever come out of that? You know, do they just live in their farm in the middle of nowhere, just providing for themselves, and that's it? Because you go through these stretches of, you know, like 10-20 kilometres of seeing only like 2 or 3 buildings. It's just really bizarre. I just couldn't help but thinking, when you roll into these villages that are just completely vacant, what the people do and what people in those villages have seen of the outside, or the rest of France for that matter. Really bizarre thing to think of, I know, but I suppose it's different when you live in London. Everything's so busy and people always, you know, working to go on holiday or working to own things and working to do things, and everyone's around everyone and everyone's so close together. I can't actually imagine what it'd be like to live that far secluded. You know, what do they do for a living other than live off the land that they live on? It's a bit of a, no, it's a bit of a weird thought to the day. I'm trying to show you what dinner is. It's vegetable noodles with half of the chorizo that I had left over from the other night, chopped up and fried and put in. A story I forgot to tell you from earlier. After I left Paris, I was on this one road for about maybe an hour, 2 hours, and we went into like this wooded area. So you've got a straight road with almost no one on the road, but tall trees and woods either side of you, and it's like that for, must have been like with the woods for about half an hour, but I've been on this road for about an hour, nearly 2 hours. And I see this white transit van on the side of the road, but it's not parked parallel to the road, it's parked as if the transit van is going to drive onto the road any second, and it's on my side of the road. And as I get closer, I think I see a black woman at the steering wheel, and I'm looking. As I get closer, it looks like she's wearing a nightie, and I ride past and she's wearing a black and white polka dot like nightie with pink fluffy stuff on it, and I rode past thinking that is the most bizarre thing I've seen. Maybe, you know, she's at the side of the road hoping to get a little bit of work. Anyway, half an hour later, we're still in this wooded area, and I'm riding past, and I see the same white transit van parked exactly the same way, looks like it's going to pull in, and this time I pay even more attention, and again, black woman, black and white polka dot top, pink fluffy stuff on the, like a nightgown or something, and I start to wonder whether I've literally just gone round in a circle or if I'm just imagining it. About 10 minutes later, the woods stopped and there's an open field, and there is the most banged up transporter you've ever seen from, like, I don't know, the 70s. Probably didn't make them in the 70s, but it's falling apart, rusting, you name it. And there is the same person again, obviously not exactly, but black woman, polka dot nightie, fluffy bits, sitting in a old transporter facing the road. Well, I knew then that obviously I wasn't going insane, because, you know, the scenery had changed and now it was a completely different van. But how peculiar in the East France, outside of Paris, that's what, you know, they do for work. Pull up by the side of the road and hope that a trucker or someone's gonna pull over and yeah, well, perhaps it's an appropriate time to show you my tent. It's 9:15, very dark outside. You can hear the motorway, sorry, the road, which is about maybe 100 feet away. This is a sleeping bag. There's one of my panniers, my clothes I'm going to be wearing tomorrow. Some of the other bags over there. Again on this side, panniers I'm going to be wearing, my gear. And here's me, quiet, it's very bright. So yeah, this is what it looks like inside the tent. Interesting stuff. This is where the magic happens, where I eat lots of chocolate, write in my journal and go to bed early.